Good morning, everyone. This is Trish, and this is the month of July's tarot reading from the predictive tarot reading that I did back in January. If you are new to these videos, I will put the information up here so that you know to go and check out previous videos so that you can get the context of this whole year-long reveal of a reading that I did in January. So let's get started with July. In previous videos, the last one or two videos, I had mentioned that we are starting to get into a phase of this reading where things are more quiet, more mental work for the year. The beginning was more action and decision and educating and ourselves and gathering strength and armor and spiritual and mental way. So now we're going into a phase of more quiet work, contemplation, inner work, and a lot of struggling mental health. So this card for July is the Hermit. So again, we're still on that theme of this sort of like inner work that we have to do right now, because last month we're struggling. We had to acknowledge the fact that we were struggling with our mental health, that it was just, an uphill battle. It was tiring. We're tired. And now the cards are telling us that we need to embrace the Hermit. Okay, so what does the Hermit actually mean? Well, it means retreating from the world. It means being in your own private space. It means contemplation. It means doing inner work. Read you the notes that I took down back in January. So, solitude, introspection, thinking things over, quieting yourself, wanting the truth at all costs, receiving and giving guidance, needing stillness, withdrawing from the world, giving up distractions, retreating into private world. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? And we definitely see the need for that right now. I am seeing a trend on social media where a lot of, especially women, young women in particular, new mothers, young mothers, where they're just so overwhelmed with the world that they're posting that I'm not going to be on Instagram very much anymore, or throughout the summer I want to spend time with my family. I want to be I need a break. It's just too overwhelming. And I totally understand that, because I've also done a similar thing. Like, I've decided that I am only checking Instagram right now for any messages. I am not scrolling, but I have a schedule. So I'm not going every day, multiple times a day, checking Instagram, looking, scrolling, doom scrolling, following links to threads, and reading. A lot of times threads is funny, but a lot of times it can be really awful too. So I was just finding myself getting sucked into this vortex of um, bad news or ignorant comments or hatred. Like, I was like, why am I doing this to myself? So I decided that throughout the week, I'm just going to check my messages. I'm not scrolling. I'm not posting unless it's something, I feel is important to me. But And then once a week, I'll go on and just do like a photo dump of, if I have any, of any updates that happen throughout the week. But that way I avoid the doom scrolling, but still get my creative outlet. When it says giving up distractions, well, that is a big distraction. And I wanted to talk about distractions a little bit because I'm really feeling the hermit, really wanting to embody the hermit. And what I've noticed lately is I've picked up my stitching again. Usually in the summer I don't do a lot of stitching because I'm too busy doing stuff in the yard, or we had a big project that we just finished out in the yard. But I find myself drawn to stitching because stitching is one of those things that puts me in a zen zone where I'm not really thinking about world events while I'm stitching. I'm immersed in the world of just the piece that I'm stitching. Um, like I have multiple pieces on the go. One is a lady holding a baby dragon, and I get immersed into that world. I'm working on an antique sampler right now from Nova Scotia, and I get immersed into what it was like for that 10-year-old girl uh, from Nova Scotia sitting there for hours on end stitching the sampler. So I get immersed in that. I'm the queen of distractions in the sense that I'm always busy, I'm always productive. So, but it's a distraction nonetheless. You have to be careful of the distractions you choose. They have to be something that actually pulls you inward and into a contemplative state, because that's what the hermit is about. It's about contemplation. It's like what, nuns and monks do, like it's a state of contemplation. And so the distractions that you choose, you have to be careful that they're not actually adding the pressure on you. For me, stitching doesn't do that because I know it's going to take forever to get this piece done. So I'm in it for the process of doing it as opposed to the end goal. Until I get close to the end goal, then I'm like, okay, I need to get this done. But with knitting, I always have an end goal. It's always, I need this done by a certain date for a gift or for me to wear before it gets cold, or you know what I mean? Like there's pressure that I add on myself. So just be aware of anything that you're doing that you feel is good for your mental health. Really analyze that and make sure that that's true. Because on the outside, me sitting there knitting looks very contemplative and calming, but I have that pressure added onto myself. So just be aware of that. Also remember that retreating from the world does not mean surrendering to the world. Sometimes you watch movies and they're like, retreat, retreat, and it almost feels like, oh, they're giving up. That's not what they're doing. They're retreating, they're resting, they're regrouping, and they're coming up with a new strategy. So just remember that that's what the hermit is also doing. He's retreating to regroup and to clear the mind so that information that he's receiving, because it said learning and teaching. So the hermit is learning as well as teaching. So just remember that when you're clearing space in your head during this retreat time for the month of July, to be open to receiving from spirit, from the world, new information, and that will help you with actions that you need to take. And also be a teacher. If in your retreat somebody approaches you and with questions about whatever, and you feel that you have the right answers or the truth, or even if you don't absolutely know that it's the right answer, the truth, but you want to share, then do so, because that's what a hermit does too. So share your information with the caveat that it may or may not apply to that person, or it may or may not be 100% accurate because you're still learning. And that's what a hermit does. They learn. But the big message for this card this month is to retreat from the world. Have your private space, have your private time, do contemplation, do prayers, do meditation. Calm your nervous system, but be careful as to how you calm your nervous system. The next load of cards are still along this vein, along this vein of it's not easy. So really, really take advantage of this month that's coming up and take care of yourself. Most importantly, in this one, it's taking care of yourself mentally and spiritually. The physical side of things was more last month's, where you saw the guy struggling, with his load of sticks. This month is taking care of yourself mentally, but also really importantly, spiritually. Okay. So I am going to leave that card with you for this month. And I will be seeing you soon. I will be doing some herbal videos next. I have a whole bunch of herbs that I want to do. I'm just looking outside and getting inspired by my gardens. Um, but yeah, there's a whole bunch that I want to do. It's whether or not I have time to do them all before, they're not there anymore. But there's always next year. So anyway, I'll be doing more of those soon. So we'll see you soon. Blessings to you all.